Stand by, overlap that line, and action.
Tyler, can you get loose?
Good, cut, done.
I wrote the screenplay, co-wrote it actually with Chris Van de Polder. Was a pretty interesting experience. They were about to go into production and they wanted to make some pretty drastic changes to the screenplay, and that's when they brought us on. So we started over from scratch and really took the story that Doug had put together and gave birth to a whole new, what we hope is a really exciting thriller.
We have Michael Madsen, who's starring in this. He is the man in here. We have Rachel Hunter. We have Jennifer Tisdale.
Michael, I was like the biggest fan of Michael Madsen. And then when I heard that he was doing this film, I was just like, oh my God. I mean, anyone that's seen like Reservoir Dogs, or he's insanely talented. Like, he doesn't even have to try, and it just like oozes out of him, and he plays the man.
Doug Elford-Argent, the director, and me shot a film together in New York. And me, him, and Greg Luckman, the executive producer of this film, we all worked together on this particular project in New York.
Well, I met the director, Doug Elford-Argent, on another production. And when I met him, he told me that he had some scripts to read. He gave me this one script, which I looked. I liked it. I said, let's work on this. And we put it together since January.
The building in this story is a character, and really Chris and I, when we were writing it, we thought of it as a character, and that was one of the central pieces. So to find the right building was really critical.
That's going to be scary, dark, abandoned looking, where we could shoot this thriller. And this is a spot that we found. This building, you know, was damaged in the earthquake in Northridge, and it looks like a really old, scary, abandoned building. And it's a perfect location.
Rolling, speed, roll camera. Speed, 61, take 2, Mark.
Action. Turn.
We kind of want to bring it, the whole story, to a concept that a lot of people can relate with. And one of the big things right now is the whole housing crisis. A lot of people are being foreclosed on. So we basically expanded on that and ran with that. And so we have this story about essentially a person who's been foreclosed on and has gone a bit nuts.
What they're doing is when their home's going into foreclosure, they're ripping everything out. Like, literally, people are ripping out their granite countertops. They're ripping out their plumbing. Like, whatever they can take out of this home, they're taking. Part of what this movie's all about, it's about this man who is forced into losing everything. Sometimes it's not necessarily the person's fault that comes in and buys the foreclosed home, because they're just trying to make a start for themselves, which is what my character thinks she's doing. Whereas if the Tyler character is more of the corrupt person that is an opportunistic person and just looking to make a quick buck and doesn't care who he steps on to do it.
That's easy to understand, especially nowadays in recession and all these things that are going on. A lot of people are out of work and a lot of businesses are going down, and you know, it's natural that somebody might snap. And I guess that's what happened in this story. Of course, he went a little bit too far. In the old days, I used to spend a lot of time getting prepared for stuff, and then I found out that when I got on a set and got into a scene, you know, there's so many things that are going on around you that are unpredictable that it's no sense in having a plan, because you can't ever know how another actor is going to react to you, and you don't know what's going to be happening with the crew, and you don't know what's going on. And if you have a preconceived plan, sometimes it can get in your way.
It's definitely a challenge no matter what it is you do. You know, whether it's just having a scene where you're having a fight with your mother, or you're having a scene where you're getting your arm chopped off. Either way, you have to go to some places to get to some things to make this thing real.
Yeah, Doug is a good director, and he is calm, which is nice. Does he get stressed? Yeah, he gets stressed. But that's why I'm the kind of person who is also calming too. And so it's nice when we work together. And if a problem arises, yeah, we'll talk about it, we'll discuss it. But he's a good person to work with. He's a team player.
Really, really a talented director. Someone who's an absolute pleasure to work with. He's actually really good at producing as well. You couple that with somebody who has real creative talent, you put those together and it's really a beautiful mix.
Yeah, I knew right off the bat that he was the kind of guy who was going to shoot fast and he wasn't going to kill everybody with rehearsals, and that he was, time was of the essence. When I hear stuff like that, I go, yeah, okay, because that's how I am. And he said that to me early on, so I knew that I was going to be fine with him. And then, you know, he turned out to be exactly that, and he's wonderful to work with. It's a pleasure to move fast, and there's been a really, really good crew that he got himself surrounded by. And on this one, I'm telling you, everyone down to a person has been great.
Tyler is this young real estate Mongol. I'd say he's around 30-ish, and Tyler's very ambitious. But in this film, we show how his own personal, his whole personal idea of growing becomes so important than some of the regular things in life, such as his fiance and such as the things that we can't always pay for, the things that in life that we should treasure, we disregard, and we're just so set on having to have what we want when we want to have it. And Tyler's that type of character that he'll sacrifice almost anything to get ahead. Some of the scenes I really do like, the torture scenes with Michael. I gotta be honest, when we were shooting them today, I was sitting there trying not to laugh, but you know what? It's almost like this character deserves what he's getting, in a way. You know, I personally would never torture anybody like that, but you know, it makes you wonder, you know, what did this guy do to be here? And it's not like it was just, you know, they call this conditions and circumstances where it just happened to happen. This was coming.
Camera is set.
Stand by. Action. Because it could run down, right? Into here.
Yeah, let's do a little.
Yeah.
Ashley being played by Gwendolyn Garver, she's phenomenal, and that was really exciting. And I knew her as I was writing the script, so we, co-writer and I, were really able to tailor that to just her special brand of humor, and to really bring some life to that script, and really make Ashley seem like a really well-rounded character, not somebody, you know, who was just there as sort of decoration. She really brings something interesting to the script.
Wendy plays my best friend Ashley, and we have really, really good chemistry together, and we just met, but it almost seems like we're really good friends.
Mark.
So that was a really cool draw, and then the fact that it was, you know, kind of a thriller suspense, and I would get to get all bloody is also definitely a plus.
And you know, the thing about independent films and the fun of doing independent film is that you usually have that freedom to go off the script or find something here or there. A lot of the big guys, a lot of the big shots, bigger filmmakers, they tend to be fearful in some ways of improvisation, and especially producers, if they think of you as an improvisational actor, they're very threatened by the idea that you might suddenly come in with such a force of a difference of opinion that you know, and it's sad because it's really not that. And I don't ever really try to undermine the writing or the subject matter. I'm just interpreting it in a way that's naturalistic.